Hey everybody, the cameraman here. I'm live outside of the Butte County Courthouse here in Orrville today, in which we reached a verdict in the matter of People versus Coleman, the Greyhound bus shooting case. Um, gonna let some people come on in here, let the notifications go out before I announce you the verdict. Everybody here, let's get over here, walk a little. The courthouse and keep it in frame anyways. So, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, we'll give it another minute here or so. Come over here to my spot usually where I like to stand, set up the camera while we wait for anybody. All right, we got one person and a like. Let's see here, if it's not so tilted, I want to try and keep the courthouse in frame. So, where are we gonna get it? It's gotta be level. It's gonna look crooked and not good. And we don't want crooked media here at Cameraman's Investigations, ladies and gentlemen. So, all right. So let me get in. Spirit cut. All right. We're just gonna hold it. We're gonna do it live, ladies and gentlemen, as Bill O'Reilly would say. We're gonna just do it live. I was hoping to have it set up so I wouldn't have to hold it, ladies and gentlemen. But all right, it's been a few minutes. Let's just go ahead and get this over with. Hey everybody, the cameraman here, reporting live in front of the Butte County Courthouse here in Orrville today, in which we reached a verdict in the matter of People versus Asadi Coleman, the man accused of shooting and killing a woman and wounding the tongue-tied. I should say injuring a few others with his negligent discharge of a firearm. The jury deliberated some more today after not coming to a verdict on Monday. They came back at 8:30 this morning, and by 11:45 we reached a verdict. They came back on, well, there's a few charges, a few counts. The first count of attempted murder in the first degree, they found Mr. Coleman not guilty. But on the next count of murder in the second degree, they were able to find Mr. Coleman guilty on those charges, as well as a few not guilties on attempted murders, as well as a few guilties on attempted murders. But I believe that stems to the fact of leaving the option to either charge him in the first degree, or I shouldn't say charge, ladies and gentlemen, find him guilty in the first degree or find him guilty in the second degree. They kind of left that up for the jury to decide themselves, which is the more fitting, if it was basically planned or not planned. And so they found him guilty in in the second, where it wasn't this wasn't some long thought out, meticulous plan. This is pretty much the DA in this case explained there's, basically two types of murder. Murder that's planned and everything else that's, that isn't. So that's where they found him on. And then, of course, the unlawful firearm activity they found him guilty of. So on about, I think that was 3 out of the 7 or 8 counts they found him not guilty on, and then the rest all guilty. So that was quite an interesting 8-day trial divided over 2.5 weeks, I think it was. And this trial ended a week early. So yeah, that was quite faster than expected. But all that was here was myself and Action News Now. Camille Acevedo is inside. I think she's trying to get some the minute order for the exact verdicts of the charges. But no victims here today. That's going to be more towards the sentencing, which is scheduled for May 31st at 8:30 a.m. That is when Mr. Coleman is scheduled to be sentenced. That doesn't mean necessarily it's going to happen then. He could, sentencing could get continued. Keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure I'm not in anybody's way, or no one's, keeping the, car parks behind me. I want to keep the courthouse in frame. But yeah, that is when sentencing is for this case, May 31st, 8:30 a.m. So we'll probably hear from some victims by then, none of which were here today, but hopefully for the victims in this case, I mean, the guilty verdicts are not going to bring back Miss Karen Dalton, the woman that was killed on the bus, but hopefully this, can start the process of, healing and, coming to terms with the fact that, the jury did their job and found him guilty, and that the people met their burden of proof. For the other victims, such as Mr. Fabier. Let me see. It's Robert is his first name. He's kind of has a little bit of a hard last name to say, but Robert in this case, the gentleman who's now left paralyzed in the wheelchair, he's on the verge of becoming homeless. He lost his job and wasn't able to make money since his injuries. He spent he's got medical bills from spending time in the hospital, and I heard there's a GoFundMe out there for him. So if I can find that, I'm going to try and link it in this live stream in the description when I'm able to do the tags and the comments for it, and any the other future videos I mention him in, because that's a real shitty situation, ladies and gentlemen, to have a job and then have this tragedy happen upon you, and then lose the ability to use your legs, and now are going to be homeless because of it. It's that's really sad, and hopefully we can, if there's people out there that can help him out with that, getting him some funds in the GoFundMe, look into that. But yeah, that's what he testified on the stand. I was there for his witness testimony, so hope at least this can provide him some justice. He did take the brunt, the bullets that night, and it's real unfortunate that had to happen to him, as well as the other victim, Rose Whitley. She was injured, and she had a baby. She was pregnant at the time, and that baby was born prematurely because of the the shooting, the injuries. The daughter, the 11-year-old daughter of the woman that was killed, she was grazed and injured by a bullet, or two. I believe it was 2 rounds she was grazed by. She's has a grievous bodily injury, so hopefully now that can provide closure, some level of closure. I mean, that you're not going to be changed from an incident like that, I can only imagine, especially for an 11-year-old girl. And then the one gentleman who was also hit in the back of the head, surprisingly, he's the person that, out of all the victims that were hit by Mr. Coleman's rounds, he was the one that didn't receive a grievous bodily injury, even though he was hit in the head. He was patched up with a couple staples, and in the court's eyes, if you're able to get fixed with a couple staples, that's not a grievous bodily injury. But I mean, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, to be hit by any bullet in the back of the head or anywhere in the head, to be able to walk away from it, I think that is a miracle in itself. Because how is our body? Well, nerves in our body obviously control the things that we do, but how do we think and make decisions to control those nerves? You got to have a brain, otherwise our body will just make unconscious knee-jerk reactions, because that's just how nerves work. I pinch myself, I feel pain, like in the cartoon, the doctor hitting your elbows and knee with the little hammer thing, and it you move, you react to it. That's just because that's, you feel pain, you react to it. But it takes a brain to get up and say, I'm gonna walk from here to there, or I'm gonna go and do this live stream like I'm doing now. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so that's where we're at today. The jury is, I believe, all gone home now. Pretty much, I'm gonna see here after I end the live stream. I'm gonna try and keep it short, ladies and gentlemen, experimenting with the algorithm times, seeing what longer live streams get compared to shorter, and vice versa. I'm going to see if Mr. Ramsey himself has any comment I reached out to the DA's office on Monday to see if he'd be available for interviews Thursday if the jury reached a verdict today, and I did not hear back from them yet, so that's probably going to be my next stop. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, justice was served here today to a degree. I mean, I have some more things to discuss about this case, in regards to the mental health aspect. But if you're going to choose not to plead NGI, ladies and gentlemen, or you can't choose to plead, you can't plead NGI, not guilty by insanity, because you found to be insane, that's a different story. But what seems to be an ultimate factor here, ladies and gentlemen, is the reversal of the NGI plea, because from Mr. Coleman, he did not want to go to the state hospital. But the DA was very clear in their closing and really their case about how you can't run a not guilty by insanity defense if you're not going to plead not guilty by insanity, because Mr. Coleman is more than likely at sentencing coming up looking at life in prison compared to life in the state hospital until he is deemed by the state of California to be no longer a danger to himself and or others. But this has been the cameraman reporting live in front of the Butte County Courthouse here in Oroville. I'm going to see if Mr. Mike Ramsey is available for interview, and I think that's going to be it for today. In regards to this case, I got many more coming up, and something tomorrow, maybe or maybe not. I'll be live streaming, just depends on how the day goes. But this is the cameraman of Cameraman Investigations, reporting live here in Oroville, signing off.